I also thought that one of the very important things in life, especially aside you knowing God, is knowing yourself. Life is full of mysteries, and for you to go through life without understanding what life in itself is about can be a hardcore. This is the main reason a lot of people are not enjoying life, they are enduring life. So people come up with things like life is a hard work, life is a hustle, life is a battle, so on and so forth. Yes, you're not going to have everything on the silver platter, but at least if you're able to develop yourself to understand, number one, the world in which you find yourself. When I talk about world, I'm talking in terms of the systems, the structures, the principles, and good way of living or life. You're definitely going to struggle. There are certain principles that guides and guards the way people should live that could possibly or potentially put them in the right place for success. For you to be oblivious of this particular principles of rules will plunge you into a very bad situation that you may not be excited about. If we look at the conditions of our birth, some of us have been opportuned to be given birth to in a place where it looks like the background is cool. Those of us who had our backgrounds on the mat or maybe in the mud, it also doesn't bring any form of excuse that, hey, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, so I'm set for failure. No, we didn't choose where we're going to find ourselves on this earth, but you can definitely choose where you want to find yourself at the end of the day. So this morning, I'd like to take my time and talk about a very important topic that a lot of people gloss over, but is very central. It's very central for our success in this life. Yeah, so that is self-discovery. Thank you all for joining again. So I'd like to share my screen. So I will really take my time to talk about this. Okay. One second. Okay. All right. So if you can hear me, I'd like to definitely ask you to show some signs, some kind of chat, some form of excitement in the chat box. Maybe you want me to speak louder, you want me to take my time, or whatever it is. Okay, so Bernard, oh, okay, Bernard is here. Oh, okay. Miss Blankson is here. Oh, okay. The celebrity is also here. Can I hear from the rest also? Do we have other? I can see 12 people here. Precious, can you hear me? Josiah, can you hear me? Gabin, can you hear me? Boache, can you hear me? Adelaide, Abena, please, can you hear me? Just let me know if you can hear me and we can go on. Yeah. Okay, so self-discovery and a path to personal growth and fulfillment. Self-discovery, a path to personal growth and fulfillment. Just reminding you that my name is Bernard Quarm. and I am with the LUP team Ghana, and I'm excited to have this presentation with you. Okay, let's pick up some few introductions. The first thing I'd like you to know is I'm really excited to share with you some insights on self-discovery, which is a key element to winning life's journey. Yeah. Number two, I'm also excited to let you know that the greatest challenge people encounter in life is identity crisis, or maybe use the big word purposelessness. Okay. Number three is our identity is within us. It is our very individuality. So you don't look for your identity outside of you, but you pick your identity from within you. Then finally, it's very important to know that life best comes when we live in daily self-discovery. Life's best comes when we live in daily self-discovery. These are some few things I just like you to know, that self-discovery is a key element if you ever want to win in life. The more you know yourself, the more you know how to adjust yourself within the whole world ecosystem. Knowing yourself will help you to make the right choices. It will help you to zero in your efforts, your time, your resources, and your relationships in a way such that you win. Knowing yourself is one of the greatest things that one must spend most of their life doing. And people are living in identity crisis, and because of that, they are making a lot of wrong choices. And that leads to what we call purposelessness. All right, so we go on. Today is about you. And I want you to be selfish a little bit. If you want to talk about you yourself, whatever your name and your identity is, that's how. So it's now. What are we hoping to do or learn at the end of today? The first thing is we need to understand what self-discovery is all about. Number two is we need to make a clear distinction between what do we mean by identity and how do we zero it in what we call personal identity. All right. Three, finding you, then knowing you. These are some of the pillars that you need to focus on, especially when you want to undergo self-discovery. Four, we need to always put ourselves in a state where we always need to embrace change. All right. Then we'll do some question and answers, then we'll be out of here. I like to just take maybe a break and ask that we do a little bit of a discussion about self-discovery. Have you seen this somewhere? What do you understand by self-discovery? I just want three people to help me pick this up. I want it to be very interactive so we can have a very good session. What do we mean by, or what do you understand by the word self-discovery? Anyone to kickstart with us? You can shoot up your hands. You can also use the chat box, but I like to hear your voices just as you can hear mine, so we can kick in. So who is starting with us? Self-discovery. Okay, so we have Precious. Hi, Precious. Good morning.
Okay,
Great.
so when you say self-discovery, it's about figuring who you are, like finding you and understanding yourself better.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Precious. So Precious also believes that it's about finding you and also understanding yourself better. Thank you, Precious. Anyone else, please? Quickly. Adlin, would you want to share something? Or who is going? Okay, Bernard, let's go.
Yes, sir. So I think self-discovery is uncovering more about oneself and how he or she was made. Yes, sir.
Wow, I love that word. It says that uncovering. That means that there's a covering and you're taking the cover off. That leads to a knowledge and understanding. Awesome. Okay, so Quincy also put in the chat box says that she said, please, when I hear self-discovery, I think of finding out things about me and having an understanding of who I really am. I really am. Mouthful. All right, so we also have Samuel Button is the ongoing journey that helps you become aware of your inner world, including your abilities, character, and emotions, enabling you to live more authentically and in alignment with your true self. This sounds like AI, but that's okay. If not, then it is HI, human intelligence, not artificial intelligence, but that's okay. Please, anyone else? I'd like us to be very interactive, and I'll be mentioning names actually, and you would have to pull up. That's a very good juxtaposition of your defining self-discovery. Okay, so we have Josiah. Hi, good morning. Can you hear me? Josiah, are you the president of all those who are called Josiah because you mean Josiah Ghana? Is that a company or that's your name?
No, please.
Or you mean you are coming from Ghana?
Yes, please.
Okay, that's fine. Please, let's go.
Self-identity.
Self-discovery, please.
Sorry, self-discovery. I believe is you getting to know yourself, your capabilities, and what you are good at as well. Yes, please.
Awesome. This is also very revealing. Yeah. So, why do we think self-discovery is very important? Do you think this topic is very look into, and maybe the reason to that? I'd like to hear from Miss Ella Blankson.
Yeah, good morning to everyone. Yeah, Mr. Quarm.
Good morning.
I think it's important because it helps you get to know who you are, and also it gives you the opportunity to come out from your comfort zone to actually look at what you are good at, or like the kind of passion you have within yourself.
Awesome. Thank you, darling. Awesome. That's a very good thing that you just mentioned. Can you please repeat that again? I'd like to hear it again.
So I said it's very important because it's just to get to know yourself, and also you are able to get out from your comfort zone to know what you are good at, or certain areas you have passion for.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Do we have I need a gentleman. Okay, Mr. Boachi, are you in the position to help us listen to your wealth of knowledge? Hello? Yeah, it looks like his network is a worry. Okay. I think you have to just connect again. Okay. That's fine. Actually, I really believe strongly that a human being must spend about 60% of their time, energy, and money to learn more about themselves. Their time in terms of trying to know who they really are, their money in trying to buy the things that will help them to become who they really are, and again, also resources to build up whatever will make their unique individuality. In fact, if a lot of us really do that, there will be a lot of good things that is happening to us. If you look in our world today, there's high level of how do we call it? People trying to become like others. They want to do, talk, dress, style their hair like others and not their very self. So you see people hating themselves and being at the wrong place because they want to go with the flow. And sometimes going with the flow, you end up being carried away by the current. In this life, those who have been able to discover themselves are able to charter a course that allows others to also to become whatever they wish to be. The whole truth is, if you don't take the pain and the time to know about yourself, you end up living a lie or living in the shadows of others. Yesterday, I was reading an article and somebody was of the opinion that people are not living their authentic life because they do not know themselves. So they live either in the shadows of their parents, in the shadows of their pastors, in the shadows of their mentors, and in the shadows of people that leads them. The day that you make such a huge struggle, you make such a huge challenge, you may end up having a difficulty in understanding exactly who. Hold on, please, 1 second. Yeah. So that's why it's very important for you to spend time in knowing yourself. And I like to take my time. So what I mean by self-discovery is I intentionally use these words because it literally opens us up to appreciate what discovery is about. So I say that self-discovery is a fascinating journey because the more you discover yourself, the more you enter into the ow moment. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know I could do this. Oh, it's a fascinating journey into the lush jungle of your life. All right. So it looks like, if you look at the philosophers, they say that all people that comes into the world, or when you talk about it, they define it as a tabula rasa. Nobody comes into the world with any kind of mind or any kind of knowledge. Whatever we feed into the child, whether it is movies, it is music, whether it's up to become, how do we call it, the person's idea and worldview. So it's like everybody's life is a jungle. All right. And when we just cast your mind to how a jungle looks like, there are bushes, they are on misplaced or unarranged trees. You see some water lurking all over the place, animals moving here and there. It means that you would need a strategy, a fascinating journey. When we talk about a journey, look, I mean, picture something like you having a backpack behind you with water bottle, with your cap on, and with your shoe or your kambu, and you are trying to walk through this kind of jungle kind of setting. All right. So when the moment you begin to undergo what we call self-discovery journey, it's a whole kind of like package that you need to be ready for, because in self-discovery character, most of the time we find ourselves seeing the character of others and have a am I so opinionated about these things? Why do I become defensive? Why do I behave the way I behave? Then the next thing is motive or our motives. You see, people don't just get up and do whatever they're doing. There's always a reason behind what people do. So we always say that what is the why behind the what? Because the why is the very reason or the very energy that propels us to do whatever we are doing. Then also desires. Why do I desire these things out of life? My cravings, what I want out of life. So the more you sit down and you ready your mind to appreciate your character disposition, feelings, your motives, and your desires, you really set yourself on a path to understand you. So self-discovery helps you to know your very important self. That's what I call the vis. Your very important self is something that really helps you to win in life or lose in life. When I talk about your very important self, we're talking about the one that laughs at terrible jokes, the one that secretly dances in the kitchen, and maybe you occasionally think about the mysteries of the universe. When you are alone, the things that rushes through your mind, the things that fills your thoughts, the many things that you want to do, the fantasies that comes around you, the desires that swells up within you. We cannot even accept ourselves. And if we don't accept ourselves, no one will even be ready to accept us. So self-discovery is a journey. It's not a one-time thing that all of a sudden you know yourself. Somebody will go like me, I know my heart. I know me, if I get angry, nobody can stand. Those kind of comments, but we still go on. You see, knowing yourself or understanding self-discovery will help you to understand your true self so that you don't become hard on yourself or you don't look down on yourself. Because everyone on this call has a unique identity that helps you to become that very individual that makes everything great. We were having a Bible study some years ago, and we're trying to take a keen interest into our how do you call it, our body parts, our eyes, our hands, our legs, our feet, and all of that. Each and every of these parts have been put there to play a peculiar role, such that a person is called deformed or disabled when any part of their body has been amputated or malfunctions. You see, when these parts are disabled, it makes the whole complex of the human body defunct. That is why it's important universe. So first of all, you need to value yourself. You need to love yourself. You need to appreciate yourself above everything else and know that you are indivisible, you are valuable, and you have been created for a unique purpose. You can take your time and do a little bit of a practice. Try and use your leg, or let's say your feet, to pick up some. You're using your hand, it's easier because the true purpose of the hand is supposed to hold, handle, and pick things. The feet is supposed to help you balance yourself on the earth. When you go into self-discovery, you are able to even grow better, because if you don't know yourself, what are you going to grow about yourself? And the more you grow, the more you enter into self-fulfillment. Then finally, it will provide you clarity on why you are here on this earth and also give you the direction you need to go. These things, ladies and gentlemen, are very important. And that is why you need to focus on yourself, mind your business, and grow yourself so that Aristotle says that knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. When you're able to even know yourself, you will be able to know certain fruits or food that you need to eat and certain food or fruits that doesn't help you. When you know yourself, you will even get to know certain creams or certain lotions that you need to put on yourself. That is why we have the dermatologist that is able to help you know certain kind of things that you put on your skin and not put on your skin. That is the skin therapist and all of that. So knowing yourself is indeed the beginning of all wisdom. I keep on saying that the blessedness of life is knowing people around you. But the point is, you don't need to know everyone to be able to live a successful life. But when you know the right people around you, it will help you to come up and be. Now, let's take an example of what we call the self concept. For you to be able to know yourself, you need to understand what we call self. SELF. Self is a whole concept that if we want to discuss, we may not even exhaust because of the limitedness of our time. When we talk about self, it is your very is your emotions, your strength, your weaknesses, your passions, and your purpose, such that when they kill somebody, we have literally destroyed a purpose, we've destroyed a passion, we have mitigated or destroyed strength, desires, and emotions. That is why we hold human beings so high. The life of a human being is the greatest of the virtues or the greatest of the blessings that we can ever compare in this life. And those of you who are Christians will appreciate what the Bible says when he says that you cannot gain this hope doesn't come close. So self has to do with your values. What are your values in life? Values are those kind of principles or those kind of moral strengths that helps you to discern or make a distinction between what is good and what is bad. Values are those kind of principles or moral principles that helps you to make a distinction between what is good and bad. Without values, you can settle for anything else. Beliefs. Beliefs are those things that has become part of yourself because of your experience, because of whatever that has happened to you in the past or in the lives of others. So you believe in this, and because you believe in this, it becomes part of you. Your desires, your emotions, your strengths, your weaknesses, your passion. Another thing that we can talk about when we're talking about your self-concept is your physical appearance. You see, it is of no coincidence you look the way you look. And one of the beautiful things about life is no Nobody looks exactly the way you are in all of this world. It is said that we have close to about 8 billion people in this world. That is what they talk about. But you would really marvel that in all of these 8 billion people, you are the only one that look like you. Individuality. So it has to do with your complexion, your stature, your mannerisms, the way you speak, the way you walk, the way you lift up your hand, the way you do your things. These things also have to do with yourself. Number 3 is your very essential individuality. Now, the word individual comes from the word indivisible. It means that you cannot be dissected, or you can never be brought to a place of separation. You are held together as one unique person. So the self-concept is looking at your values, your beliefs, your desire, your strength, your weakness, as well as the way you look like, then also your very individuality. So when you're trying to do self-discovery, all these things must come to play. What are my values? Why do I behave the way I behave? Why do I sound the way I sound? Why do things annoy me? Why is it that this thing is annoying this guy, but it looks like this guy has no problems with it? All these things comes together to give the differences that comes around us. So there are 3 main words that characterizes the. Number 1, how you see yourself. Carl Rogers makes this distinction. So when you're talking about self, you are talking about your self-image. Please note this carefully. You are the only one that knows how you see yourself. So your self-image is very important in your journey of self-discovery. Your mother may see this about you. Your parents might see this about you. Maybe even your pastor prophetically might see this about you. Your teacher, your friends, they can make a distinction about you. But it is only you who know the kind of image that you see yourself to be. The question is, how do you see yourself? The next thing is, how do you value yourself? That is your self-worth. If you don't value yourself, people will not even value you. Because if you see yourself as a non-entity, you're definitely not going to value yourself. The next thing is your ideal self, who you desire to become. Ladies and gentlemen, every point of our life, now we are gearing towards 2026. That is why this particular topic is very important for you to imbibe. We'll be doing another very important session, maybe in December, how you can win in 2026. But I want you to start with this. What image have you made of yourself? Because what you say of yourself becomes your ultimate reality. What you make of yourself will determine your self-worth. What is your value? Now we begin to talk about people, the worth of people in terms of materials, the worth of people in terms of maybe following, in terms of monies that they have and all. That is okay. But your self-worth must not be foundation on materialism. Your self-worth is hinged on your self-image, and your self-image is hinged on your very individualism. And for me, out of these 2 or 3, what is very important to me is who you desire to become. Let's go on. Now, the self-concept in continuation, some reflection that I want you to know carefully, it will help you a lot. It says that your family, your parents, your name, and your environment doesn't and shouldn't necessarily define you. They are good examples and indicators of your essential worth, self, and worth. What I mean is, yes, you didn't determine your family. Your parents made a decision, and here you are. The conditions around your birth is no fault of yours. The name that you bear was given to you. The environment in which you find yourself are all what I call nature's providence. This is where you have or you find yourself. These things only are indicators of your essential worth or self, but that shouldn't define you ultimately. That is why when you have an honest and clear understanding of yourself, you will begin to evolve and you begin to grow. This is when you learn to embrace change. Most of the people that have made it in this life are people that never had good background records. If you look within the biblical context, you find out that most of the great people in our world today or in historical narrative were people that didn't come out of a very plush or a well-organized system. But because they were able to make a good discovery of their essential worth, they were able to, how do we call it, carve a niche or carve a good standing of themselves. So we can say thank you to our family, thank you to our parents, thank you for the name and the environment in which we grew out from. But then we shouldn't let these things define us. Okay, I was born out of wedlock, so wedlock I'm going to be. Okay, I was born to just one mother, and people are saying that people who are coming from single parenting are not good. That is a huge lie. Okay, I am a product of a rape case and all of that, so it means that my life is literally messed up. Who said that? No. Your life is worth more than the family that you are coming from, the parents that gave birth to you, the name that you bear, and the environment in which you find yourself. The truth of the matter is, if names really had an impact on ourselves, then we would have seen George Bush, all right, who maybe was the president of the United States some way, being a president in the bush, because his name is what? Bush. Then you can also say Bill Gates would have been a man that is building the gates. But here we see him as one of the famed people that is helping our world today. So these things shouldn't define you. What are we saying in two? Thing also that will help you to be able to understand the self-concept is you need to ask or seek for honest feedback from friends, family, and mentors. This will really help you to understand what they think of you, what their ideas of you really is, and you need to be open to constructive. The fact that you are picking feedback from your friends doesn't mean that whatever they are saying or seeing about you should be the total definitive of your very individuality. No, it must only guide you and help you to evolve and grow and become better. Please, if you are understanding what I'm saying, I really wish you can put some few thoughts in the chat box, or you can show some kind of reaction to say that. Yeah, I'm really interested in. Okay, so Iman is also following. Sami says that the conditions around your birth is no fault of you. That's true. Abina says that I'm following. Awesome. Can we get three more to know that we are following? Deep Knowledge by Akufu. Who again? I'm following Precious. Awesome. Then we picked the two. Bernard said, oh, wow. And we picked the last two. Last two. Okay. Blankson unfortunately left. I'm sure is the network. Awesome. All right, so we go on again to the self-concept thing, and I think we are getting somewhere. All right. I'm going to allow some of you to read for us so we can all partake in is self-esteem. Self-esteem. I'd like our friend Abena Icha to read what she can see on the screen. Only the self-esteem, which is self-respect. Abena, let's go.
Okay, so it says here that how we see and think about ourselves. It also deals with how confident we are about our worth and abilities. Good self-esteem helps you gain confidence and courage, and it gives you power, but not pride, to be a great person.
Awesome. Awesome. Self-esteem is how you value yourself, how you respect yourself. Trust me, people will always relate with you as a result of how you present yourself out there. Let's take our time and look at a water pouch and a bottle water. Or let's say sachet water and a bottle water. When somebody gives you a bottle water, you feel excited. And when someone gives you water pouch, you feel otherwise. But you see, the kind of picture you put out there will definitely paint how people are going to connect with you. So when you disrespect yourself in the face of people or in the midst of people, they are definitely going to give you a feedback that you may not like. So self and Abena was reading, self-esteem is something that gives you power and not pride. It's not you saying that you are better than somebody, but it is saying that there is value in you and you are someone that can give value. So how you see and think about yourself is very important in the equation of your journey of self-discovery. One of the ways, or some of the ways of building a good self-esteem is by focusing on your strength. If you're always looking at your fears or your weakness or the things that you are not able to do, you will never be able to amount to anything great. The more you are focusing on your strength, you also have to recognize the things that gets you down. That is your weakness. When you're able to strike a good balance, you do it well. Now, one of the ways of building a good self-esteem is by knowing yourself. Hey, I know I'm not a good singer, so I'm not going to sing to disgrace myself. You're not going to go near it. But if you will attempt and even develop yourself, you can even do better. Number 4 is you need to learn to take responsibility for your actions. Yes, I spilled the water. I'm going to clean it. This thing, I didn't do it well. Please forgive me. I'm going to do it better. Stand up for what is right and true. Develop trusted friendship. Set goals and achieve them. And help others to also win. When you help others to win, they will always praise you for that good thing that you have. Self-esteem is very important in you winning in this life. I know a lot of great leaders and great potentials that are stuck in the dark just because they are afraid, they are shy, and they will not be able to come up with anything because they don't believe in themselves. They don't think that they can do it. They are not able to develop or stand for what is right and what is true. That can be very worrying. That can be very unfortunate. Another thing that is very important that is really worrying our generation, especially the Gen Z, is what we call the self-image, which is the body image. Body image is talking about one's thoughts and feeling about the way their body looks. A body shape or a poor body image comes from negative thoughts and feelings about a person's appearance. Your body image can really affect your self-esteem. Some months accept it. But there's this young woman, I think a Nigerian, is a woman that really had, I mean, if you're talking about a pleasant physical appearance, it's something that she wasn't blessed with. And so when she posted herself for the first time on the internet, she started receiving a lot of backlash. Why do you look like this? Why are you like this? Why are you like that? But that didn't put her down. She went on posting even more other pictures. And here we are. This woman has really been applauded for her courage, for her resilience, and for ability to stand for what she believes is a representation of her looks. The point of what I'm trying to say is a lot of people have become poor in this life because they spend all of their savings in trying to look in a way that people will accept them. That will really not make you enjoy life. So poor body image comes from your negative thoughts. These people are not going to accept me because I don't look tall. I look short. I look smallish. I'm not fair. My body, blah, 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 and so on. And now people are even talking about the fact that that's why we have what we call the body therapist. People doing BBL, maybe there's CCL, and maybe I'll not be shocked when there's going to be ZZL, and all kind of things that can really cause people to really regret. Because at the end of the day, all these people trying to change their very looks will end up in the old age suffering one way or the other. So we are talking about body image. We are talking about your self-image. Your self-image has a direct connection with your self-esteem. The earlier you love the way you look, if you don't accept yourself, people will not accept you. And I find a lot of people altering their look and trying to look in a way so that others will accept them. You are doing a disservice to yourself. Because most of the time you end up struggling, spending a lot, and having a lot of struggle with you maintaining yourself. So what I think you can do is you need to accept the body that you have. Know that it is unique. Number two is, at least there are certain things that you can do to put you in a very good way. I mean, going and there, trying to spend odd hours can really put your body in a very good shape. Number three is when you learn good hygiene, like learning how to bath. I remember when I had finished senior high school, I was passing in front of my grandmother and he called me and said, Bernard, if you will learn to bath really well, you will have a very good complexion. Wow, that was a huge one for me. That means I was not bathing well. So what she started doing was, anytime I would go into the bathroom and I'm coming out, she will be by the bathroom door and she'll be like, hey, come. And truly, I'll find out that after taking my bath, I mean, water wouldn't have touched behind of my ear. Water wouldn't have gone on my elbow. I would even see that behind my ankle, the water hasn't reached there. Then he will send me back into the bathroom. And here's how, at least, I think I look better than before. So learning good hygiene can also place you in a very good place for people to appreciate you. All right. And the best body image is when you have money. When you have money, people don't care about the way you look. They accept you. Even monkeys become headmasters when they have money. Anyways. Now, number four is learning how to dress well. You see, the right dress or the right outfit can make you look great. If you have a slim body, you have no business going to wear a maternity dress if you're a lady, or wearing an oversized clothes, hoping that you're going to grow to, fill it up. That wouldn't help you. There's a way you can dress that will fit your body and make others appreciate your outlook. Then finally, you need to embrace diversity and unity. We cannot look the same. We cannot be the same. But let me even shock you. The way you look that you're looking down on yourself is somebody's dream. that he wishes he or she is or was like you. Those of you that you are laughing at my example, you will pay $100 each. Anyways. All right. So we go on. Very important thing also about self has to do with how one is able to successfully play the role that is ascribed to them. Role performance. Role performance also can paint a picture about who you are. All right. So the first thing is role performance can really put you in a right framework that can help people see that you are a person that is diligent and hardworking. You take responsibility for your actions. You set goals and achieve them. You focus on your strength and you learn how to prioritize. Because role performance can also cast a good image on you or also cast a bad image about you based on how you are able to do things in the right way. And finally, personal identity. Personal identity, we're looking at how you can definitely know your reality. It is all about who you think you are. There are things that influences our identity. The first one is our relationships and our association, our environment and our culture, our knowledge and our education, our life experiences, and then our gender. These things has a very big, huge way of impacting the way we see ourselves. Identity, therefore, simply means a name. It is a set of characteristics that is used to identify a person as themselves and no one else. So the question really is, who really are you? Individuality is the quality of a person distinguishing themselves from others of the same kind. So we are looking at your self-esteem, we are looking at your self-image, we are looking at your role performance, and we are looking at your personal identity. And all these things comes together to paint a picture about who you really are. Now, finding yourself and knowing you. Now, notice the word to find and not to look. You see, all of us here need to find out who we are. To find means that the thing is hidden somewhere, and you are taking your time to uncover it. To look for, on the other hand, it looks like the thing is already there, and you are definitely trying to make a meaning out of its direction or position. All right. Now, so this is what I just so to look for means that searching for something that is missing that you lost. And finding means that to discover the place of the missing thing and getting back what you lost. So when you're trying to find you need to first and foremost discover your identity. So the question really is, who really are you? You at all? And we keep going. And we have the biblical references here, but because of our time, still on finding you and knowing you. I like to ask, how do you call it? Quincy, if you can unmute and read for us, I think it will be good. Okay, no, we have Shasha here, Esther. We want Esther to read for us. She just so Esther can guide us.
Finding you and knowing you. 1. Many people in our world today live in the shadows, vision and expectation of others. They live to please others and never get anything done for themselves. They live in identity crisis.
Okay, hold on. All right. So we want to just take one or two comments on the first one as we go on. Yes. Any comments on this? Do you agree with the statement or you think otherwise? Please, who is Zoom user? I like Zoom user to share his or her thoughts on it. Okay, Quincy agrees already. Mr. or Miss Zoom user? Okay, anyone to share their thought, please? Okay, we have another one here. Very true, especially in this era of social media. That is true, I agree. But yeah. Can we go on because of our time? Identity crisis is the scariest thing our life today revolves on, and that can really be dangerous to the whole thing. Yeah, anyone?
Okay, I'd like to share my little thought on this. Yeah. One thing I've realized that if you don't know who you are, what you're about to recognize is the identity crisis. Because you don't know who you are, that is what we have, identity crisis. I remember when I want to cite example with Jesus Christ when he was traveling with the disciples. When they got to the other side of the river, he asked the disciple, "Who do men say that I am?" It was a question of identity. He wanted them to identify themselves. So if you don't identify yourself, you will fall into the identity crisis. That is why we have identity crisis. People are doing things that they are not supposed to do. In fact, I don't remember a time you see. That is why we have what we call homosexuality. I don't know a dog and a male dog coming together or having an intercourse. But in our world today, or our modern world today, we have man to man, something that a male dog and a male dog, they don't do. So it's because we don't know who we are. That is why we have what we call identity crisis. So this topic is very, 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 very powerful. And I'd like to thank the coordinator for that.
Awesome. That's a very clear example of what we are talking about. Yeah. So we really know that we live, so we need to be dealing with the feeling. And here we are dealing with the God help us. Thank you. So let's go to the next one. Please, you're muted. Let's go. Oh.
Hello, sir, please.
Oh, I was muted?
Yes, please.
Wow. How is that possible?
And the screen is closed, so I can't see the slide.
You will see very soon, don't worry. For you, I'll make sure you see it very soon. Yeah, let's go on.
2, you can never live a meaningful life until you find yourself. To find oneself, there are many theories, strategies, and steps. One sure way you can find yourself is to find He who made you. You are not just a product of biological conception, that is, the fusion of X and Y chromosome, or a sperm and an egg. You are not a random
Awesome. Keep a break at this place. So you see, one of the greatest theories or the greatest idea or philosophy that the 21st century science and whatever it is that they are propagating out there is that even right now, if you look at the biological conceptions, you can have what we call a fusion of the X and Y chromosomes out of the womb of the how do you call it, the man and the woman. So you don't even need to have any kind of like copulation, all right? So immediately I'm able to pick up the X from this person, Y from that person, and fertilize it out of the womb. I'm able to make. And these are also saying that life in itself is a combination of matter, time, and chance. So without matter, so you need to have, for a human being to be able to be conceived or for things to be in existence, there must be matter, which is anything that occupies a space, time, any happenings that has calibrations on nature, and chance, probability, to be able to make a meaning of it. But that is a defeatist way of making a meaning of who you are. That is why someone may say that, okay, I feel like I'm a female because there are female tendencies, or let's say the female hormones, I don't know whether it's called, or estrogens, is more within my system. So I need to really identify as a female. Or better still, I feel this way or I become like this. So that can be a huge challenge for our lives. And I keep on saying that the definition of our generation is people making decisions based on their feelings. But they've forgotten that feeling is one of the most deceptive way of making a decision. How do I feel about this? What is my feelings about this whole matter? That can really plunge you into a huge form of regret. People also making decisions on only what they see. So we say that in this generation, people think with their feelings and they make decisions based on what they see. But that could also be a way where people can be misled. So we are saying that for you to find you and know you, you must really come to the place of the person that made you, which is a divine being called God. And so you can only connect with him through your divine providence. So the more you get closer to God, or you appreciate the place of divine providence, you are able to appreciate who you are, why God brought you here, and whatever length of days you have in this life, so you don't waste your time or throw it about. So number 3 says that you are God's masterpiece. When God was knitting you in your mother's womb, you get to know that way your nose will look, your eyes will look, your whole system will look, so that he calls you his beloved. So we say that you are the pinnacle of his creation. The Lord rejoices over you, and you are somebody that God really is excited about. When people begin to know that it is God that really brought them through this whole system of life, it finding your identity and your individuality. You are not a random collocation of atoms like robots. You are a human, and you are becoming human every day in the image of God. You need to also engage and establish a strong connection with God who created you. And finally, through self-awareness, you are able to know yourself. And that is what we are going on gradually. 4, you need to find your mission. You need to engage in career discovery, which has to do with your passion, your interest, and your desire in life. One of the ways also is you need to do a volunteering work. One of the beautiful things about identifying yourself is you just moving and of doing or discovering, you begin to appreciate the ones that you are excited about. I call it you interacting with your world. And finally, you need to find your self-worth. Make decisions based on your self-worth and not the other way around. Develop yourself by undergoing training and development. Now, self-reflection. Who really are you? You are the only one who knows you. You know who you are. Why are you here? And why are you alive? Now, you write down the things that you are passionate about. Focus on your interests. Don't look down on your desires in life at times. So I'm just trying to finish up. Now, how do you do that? Number one, the question you ask yourself is, joy. Thing brings you joy. And note that there's a clear difference between happiness and joy. But most importantly, you're looking at joy. Now, what is that one thing I wish to do to make the world a better place? What story do I want to leave behind when I die? Will my master be happy with me when I stand before him in eternity? These questions literally brings our mind in a reflective mode that helps us to begin to align to why we are really alive. Okay, we're almost done. Self-awareness, knowing you. Self-awareness is the need to know and the fear of knowing. That's what Abraham Maslow says. The need to know helps you to know yourself, and the fear of knowing helps you to know the potentials of yourself. So it is simply knowing yourself. So self-awareness is self-knowledge and self-understanding. You need to understand yourself, understand your motives, understand your actions, and that of your character. You engage in self-reflection, feelings plus interactions plus thoughts plus actions. Be open to receiving and learning from constructive criticisms. And the techniques you use to know yourself or having a self-awareness is, why do I do things the way I do? Why do I like and dislike this particular thing or hobby? How do people perceive me? How do they think? And how do they feel? These things, it helps us a lot. I'll share this with you, so don't worry. So you have to also undergo what we call the SWOT analysis. Wow. We made in our beginning statement, we said that self-identity must stem from what is within you. What are your strengths? The strength can represent the resources and the capabilities that you have. Your weaknesses are the things that you don't have, the things that you don't know, the things that is not around you, or things that can make you look less attractive. So the strengths are the things that makes you confident and unique, and the strengths are those things that makes you look less attractive. We are still getting to know all of this. Number two is the externals. That is the environment outside of you. These are the opportunities that are around you. Things that can make you become good, better, bigger, and brighter. T stands for threats. These are the policies, the rules, the actions, or people that can destroy and negatively impact the good things you want to do. These things are very important in helping you to know you. You don't need to joke about them at all. Okay. Wow. I think I put some picture. This picture is not showing. Okay. It looked like wow. My ending slide is not showing. I need to, wow. Okay, let me just try and summarize here. I think it will help. So in trying to discover yourself, I would always encourage that you even go on a journey where you don't have yourself to be distracted. Stay away from a lot of distractions. You pick a sheet of paper and write everything down. First thing you need to write is, the question really is, who really am I? Write it down. What are my strengths? What are the things that I can really do well? I know people commend me for. I can sing. I know how to dress. I know how to lead. I know how to do this. Write all of them down. What are the things I'm scared or afraid to do? Or the things I know I'm not good at? Write also those things down. These are things that are within you, so you need to focus on that. Then you come to the external one, which is the environment outside of you, which has to do with the opportunities that are around you. Things that can make you to become good, better, bigger, brighter. And the things that can really affect you. The policies that comes in the world you find yourself, the rules, the actions, and maybe people. Or it could be sometimes even people that are really closer to you that can destroy and negatively impact you. These things can really help you to appreciate a measure of who you really are. And because our time, I didn't know we were going to spend such a time. I would have come very early because I really have another meeting to move into. But I'm sure we can continue this evening to make a meaning of whatever we are discussing. So if you have any question, I think this is the time for us to discuss so that we can finish up with some few other things. Just 2 slides to go. Is there any question? No, we just have to finish this. These are the conclusions that I have to give. Self-discovery is an essential tool for meaningful living. And you do that by engaging in continual learning and experience. That's why I'm really excited about those of you who have registered to be part of this journey. You need to also learn to integrate your faith into your journey for guidance and strength. What is encouragement? You need to trust in God's plan for you and continue to strive for excellence and growth. And I'm very, very certain that these things will be a huge blessing for you and whatever that we are doing for this day. Thank you, and I wish you well, and hope to see you this evening. All right. Sam, please.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Let's appreciate Mr. Quarm for this insightful session. Thank you so much.